Hello everyone, this is your man G from Black Ops, having fun here in Tampa at the Conclave. But the question came up around influence. What do I think about influence and how do you gain influence? Well, influence is actually the third step in the chain. You don't start with influence. The first thing you start with is perspective. Whoever you're talking to, do you understand their perspective, their view of life, their view of their situation? Can you gain it and can you articulate it back to them? So for example, if I am a middle-class individual and I'm getting hit with a bunch of different taxes based on this new bill, do I understand if I'm talking to someone else, are they in that same situation? That's perspective. Do I have the same perspective as the person I'm trying to eventually influence? Okay? You need to have the same perspective, the same outlook, and you need to be able to share that outlook. That's first, perspective. The second thing is persuasion. That usually happens in person. Now that you've shared your perspective, do you have the same ability to now persuade them? So what do I mean in reference to that? Taking that perspective, tying it to some emotion and some passion, and clearly articulating, yeah, this is what we need to do, and this is why this is important. Now you are trying to persuade them to understand your point of view. Again, this is best in person where you can read their nonverbals, understand if they're with you or not. So you go from perspective, seeing it from their perspective and how they view the world from their position. Now talking to them directly with emotion and passion and letting them know that you're concerned about them and where they stand and how you can make things better. Then the last thing typically is influence, because once you've persuaded them in person or directly, then you typically have influence. And influence typically happens when you're not around. Do your thoughts and ideas influence their decisions or behaviors after you've had the conversation? That's key. So now that you've had the conversation, do you influence them based on it? So if you want to have or gain influence, first have to have the perspective of the people you're talking to. You need to understand how to persuade them emotionally, passionately, get them engaged in the conversation. And last but not least, once you have that, you'll have the ability to influence. That's how influence works. Without those other two steps, influence is a lot more difficult. You have to speak from their perspective, speak passionately about how to change it and address it, and then talk about how to change it. That's where influence comes in. Hopefully that makes sense. This is your man G from Black Ops. If you need more, hit us up and we'll teach you more. Take care. Have a blessed day. Black Ops out.